welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the part 2 of circulatory system, and in today's lecture we are going to study about the characteristics of the properties of blood, the function performed by it and the composition of blood. So the blood has the following property, that is, it is never stationary, or we can say that it is continuously in motion. That is, the blood flows from the heart into the arteries and from the arteries to different parts of the body wherever oxygen is required, and from there the deoxygenated blood is drained into the vein, and from the veins it again leads to the heart. That means it is continuously in motion. The second property is the color. The color of the blood drawn out of the artery is bright red because it is oxygenated, whereas the blood that is drawn out of the vein is deoxygenated. Therefore, it is dark red in color. The volume of the blood drawn out of adult human is about 5 to 6 liters by volume. The taste of the blood as accidentally tasted by us is saltish, and the pH is slightly alkaline, about 7.3 to 7.45. Now let us see at the functions of the blood. Now the functions performed by the blood is transport. The first function is transport. Now what all the blood is going to transport? It is going to transport the digested food which is digested in our alimentary canal and is absorbed by our intestine, and from there it is transported to different parts of the body. Now the food that is being absorbed is sugars like glucose, amino acids, vitamins, minerals and salts, etc. Now the transport of oxygen. Now the blood contains RBCs, which are red blood cells, which have a pigment called hemoglobin. Now this hemoglobin binds with oxygen to form oxyhemoglobin, or we can say Hb.O2, and then this is transported to the body parts where the oxygen is required, and there it dissociates. Now the third transport is of carbon dioxide. The blood has plasma, and that dissolves all the carbon dioxide in the form of bicarbonate, and then it is transported via heart to the lungs for oxygenation. Now the transport of excretory material. Excretory material such as different metabolic waste such as urea and some toxins in our body is excreted out from the body via blood only. This blood is going to lead the excretory metabolic waste into different excretory organs such as liver, skin, lungs, kidneys, and from there they are excreted out. Now the distribution of hormones. There are several endocrine glands present in our body which are going to drain their secretion directly into the blood, and from there they reach the targeted organs such as the growth hormone is released by the thyroid gland and it reaches to different targeted organs in our body. Now the distribution of heat. The blood helps in keeping the body temperature uniform by distributing heat. Now let us see another function, that is protection. By blood it forms clot. That means in the place of injury where the blood vessel is cut, it is going to form a fine mesh of fibrin, and in which the blood cells get entrapped and forms a clot. So we can say fibrin plus blood cells is equals to clot. So this is going to prevent the further loss of the blood from the injured part, and therefore can prevent the excessive loss of blood. Now the second protection performed is by engulfing bacteria, or the harmful pathogens in our body is engulfed by the WBCs, you can see in the picture, and then they are completely destroyed, and therefore they are going to perform the protection against diseases. which are caused by these bacteria. This function of engulfing bacteria is also known as phagocytosis. That means eating it. Now let us see another function, that it is reducing the antitoxins and antibodies. It reduces the antitoxins and antibodies. The composition of blood, we can see that the blood has 55 to 60% plasma in it. That is, the major portion of the blood is of plasma, made up of plasma. Now if we can see the container, in this we can see the plasma is the fluid portion, and in it different blood corpuscles are dissolved, that is RBCs, WBCs, etc. And this is the complete blood. The fluid portion is plasma and rest is the cellular elements. The major portion is the fluid part, that is plasma. Now, how we separate out different components of the blood? By centrifugation at ultra high speed. When we are going to rotate it, it is going to be distributed in different parts, that is the liquid portion, which is quite light, is found in the topmost layer, and the second layer is of the WBCs and platelets, and the third portion, which is a heavy one, that is RBCs. Now let us see different components of blood. These are plasma, 55 to 60%, which contains the major portion of water, about 90 to 92%. Other substances such as glucose, amino acid, fibrinogen, hormones, urea, etc. in traces, protein 7 to 8%, inorganic substances such as sodium chloride and sodium bicarbonate 1%, and cellular elements such as RBCs, which are also known as erythrocytes, WBCs, which are also known as leukocytes, and platelets, which are also known as thrombocytes. Now about these individual components we are going to study in our next session. So do like and subscribe my channel and do hit the notification button in order to get the latest notification. Thank you. Hope you are enjoying my lectures.